Okay, thank you very much for coming back to your very good self-regulators here. That's amazing. That's fantastic. So, just a little quick story. You know about traveling all the way around the world. When I was a boy, I grew up in Ontario here, right? And I traveled across the world over to the other side, and I went to this lovely place called Australia. And I fell in love with a girl over there. She was a really pretty girl. And I fell in love with her, and it was really a nice experience. But just before I met her, I was over there, and I was in a place, and I was like waiting around, and I was like, I want to go. It's about to be my birthday, but I was waiting because a whole bunch of people were going to call me for my birthday, and I thought, I don't really feel like waiting anymore. What do I do? So what you do in those kind of stories, you call your mom. So I got on the horn. Can you show me? You know, got on the phone. Well, it's a kind of a slang term for the phone. And I called up my mom and I said, here I am, I'm waiting. And she says, oh. And I said, what should I do? And she says, oh, I've got just the thing. So she read me a little bit of the story over the phone. And at that point, keep in mind, it cost me like $1.50 a minute. So she got out the book and said, just wait there, dear. I've got just the very perfect piece of advice for you. And she read from this book called Oh, the Places You'll Go, right? And she read this little bit. She said, hey, this is for people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring. Give me a phone. Or the snow to snow. Look at the snow. Or waiting around for a yes.
Or a no.
Or a no. Good one, thank you. Or waiting for their hair to grow. Show me your hair growing. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite. Give me a fishing rod. Or waiting for wind to fly a kite. Or waiting around for Friday night. Or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake. Or a pot of oil or a better break. Or a string of pearls or a pair of pants. Or a wig with curls or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. And then she said, this is the key bit. She said, no, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. And she kept going on. And I tell you what, with banner flip-flopping once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky, ready because you're that kind of guy. I thought, wow, I just felt so much better. And there I was, a teenager, traveling on the other side of the planet, and there I was getting some advice from my mom, who'd read out of this book, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. So these have been really, really big for me, and I thought, how much time do we have left? 2 minutes. And I thought, wow, of all of these stories, what could possibly do? And I thought, well, the Big Brag was the biggest one, and I thought, if I'm just going to have 2 minutes left, if I could only have 2 more minutes with the kids, I thought I'd pull my favorite little book, which is called Seussisms. It's like a neat word. Wise and witty prescriptions for living from the good doctor. And this is the one that has all those little pearls of wisdom from all of the books, all the 44 that he wrote. These are the ones that it really means something. So here is a picture of the man himself. And it's going to be his birthday on Saturday. So what I'm hoping you could do, yeah, he died on the year that I was traveling, that I met this really pretty girl.
And her name started with the N.
Yes, it did. You're totally right. Her name started with an M. She wasn't Mrs. Edwards. She was Miss Rumsey when I met her.
Seriously?
Miss Rumsey. Oh, what a lovely name. She says, yes, I'm looking for a boy with an easier last name to spell. Would you like to marry me? And I thought, oh, yes, I have a name like Edwards. Will that do? Oh, yes, that will do. Everybody knows how to spell Edwards. E-D-W-A-R-D-S. Type it on a keyboard. You'll see. It's very easy. All the E-D-W-A-R-D-S is all on the left. It's very easy. So look at this little book. Look at the doctor, good doctor. So there's a little introduction from his wife, Audrey, and he goes all here, and he just goes right into it, and he has all these little pieces of advice. And right here, it comes right down to it like this. Look at this. On activism. This is one of my best stories. We don't have time to read the whole story, but you've probably seen the movie, and you're going to read the story on your own for sure. But check it out. Here's the key part of it. Plant a new truffula. Treat it with care. Give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest. Protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. I love that story. Don't you love that story? Put your hands up like this if you really love that story.
I love the movie.
And it says, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. I love that piece of story, that piece of advice. And here's the final one. You ready? So the final page, right? The final page on the Seussisms book, and here's what it all comes down to, is the quote that I wrote on the board for you in case you get bored. The more that you read, let's do it together. The more that you read, the more that you learn, the more places you go. You ever think about that? So read lots of stuff, and you will go places, and you might just find yourself in a place with a really pretty girl or a really pretty boy, and they might want to take your name. And that's the moral of the story. Have a great day, guys, okay? See you later.